Right, questions from last week. Suzanne, this is you. Detective Suzanne wants to know the length of my garden. 72 feet long, 22 feet wide. That's from the patio to the top of the garden, which is the fence, obviously. And then at the side, which is the patio's here, so that bit going down there, which I'm utilising, so that's my garden as well. That's 21 foot long down there by 7 foot wide. So that's probably about 5 foot, that one. That's 7 foot wide here. So I'm jobbing that lot as well.
It's not that much different to mine. Mine's about 85. Would it be feet? No, it can't be feet. It must be metres. 85 metres, yeah.
Bloody Nora. That's a good one.
It's not that big, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not feet.
Into houses nowadays, they ain't really got no gardens.
I know it's less than... Hang on, I'll find out.
Right, another question from last week. We mentioned, I think it was Nick, he asked a question about the garlic, finding out when he plants it. Which I got in touch with a chap, Albert. He's a good exhibitor now, vegetable. In fact, most quite a few things. But he put some Boston garlic in, as you can see there. Now he starts these off, where am I? Mid-October, and he plants them straight outside into the soil. So obviously, before then, he's prepared the ground, added whatever he wants. But he goes mid-October, plant straight out. So that's.
You need a bit of time, Mick, to get the frost, so as they bulk up.
Yeah. Next one. What causes this on my chilies? Slugs and snails. I've had a couple of answers on that one. He should be on later on. Right. If you remember when Neil Hans gave us a talk, he mentioned he's going to take seed this year as well off his. My baby's just coming. So right, I'm babysitting. Lie down, Rosie. Good girl. And he sent me some seed in the post. Where have I? Grant from Wigan. He'll be watching this when I put it on YouTube. He's asked me for some. I've got that in the envelope ready for you. Sam Brown. That's by email, but he watches his as well. He's ready. Andy Wright. I've done yours as well. But he ain't sent me much seed. But I mean, you got enough for this year anyway. And if you fancy go again next year, then I'll get some more seed off him. But if anybody is interested, or if anybody else asked showed an interest last time, and I don't write the name down, just private message me, and I'll sort you out with some seed. He's a good lad. Malvern show. Let's go back on that one. Malvern show finished tonight, and he's still got the world record. Nobody's taken that from him. There's quite a few records broken over the weekend, but he's still got the world record for that. Next one. There's our mate Jerry. Where was he in? I don't know where that'd be. Might be Chelsea. Knowing Jerry, could well be. Our fruit man. And there he is again. Obviously that was yesterday and today. But if you live down Buckingham, I can be on again next year. I said that one, I thought I'm going to nick that and show the troops. Beer shortage soon, panic buy here. Love it. If you ain't got a sense of humour, you ain't going to make a very good gardener. Right, clearing all my stuff off the plot, ready to hand over. These are all my compost ingredients, if you remember. So I'm taking all them on, which I have done. Obviously I've got to keep it nice and clean as I can, and there it is. And I've seen him since, and I've talked him into bring 3 bays in here, or 2 if you can get them in. One for leaf mould and one for garden compost. out of wooden pallets. That'll be ideal for him, because he ain't got no plasy bins. As he's a new gardener, he's keen, so I know I handed my plot over 2 days ago, so I've finished with this one. So all I've got now is the bottom half plot, and I shall hand over that probably about 2 weeks or something.
Why, mate?
Less stress and hassle. I can grow everything at home, what I want to grow for the show.
Okay.
I've got enough room. That's why I've utilised all the space. Gladys up the garden. My spares, which I had, I planted right at the back, obviously up against the fence, up both sides, and them chaps are still coming through. He was an odd one. I had one like him, but obviously he was a bit late for the show. Right, show next year. It's the first Saturday September. We used to have it the second Saturday. We've had it second Saturday for moons. And when we moved to our new venue, the second Saturday, they'd give it away for the wedding. So we had no choice but to have the first Saturday. But it worked out better in the sense for our exhibitors having the first Saturday. There's the two lads from Wednesbury, Neil and Chris. Having the first Saturday, they can exhibit at our show, which they did this year. If they have the second Saturday, it clashes with the Pot League show, so we'd lose out on them. Plus, it's better for the judges as well, the first Saturday. So, any Zoomers fancy a night out? Book it off. Right, top of the shed, or top of the garden, I should say. There's the end wall. That's the fence he put up next door. He's got an A-ring on the side of that. That's me water butties, and I've cleaned all the crap off out of this, or levelled it so much. Utilising this bit as well, there's only rubbish ever been around there, but now I've cleaned it out. And I saw these on eBay. Set of 4 large black garden plastic troughs. Perfect. £5 each. Them will do me. So I sent for them, and here they are. No holes in whatsoever. Gordon Bennett. Although for that, I suppose them chip enough. So I bung my holes in, 1 on each corner, and 2 on the corners there. Perfect. That's where my runner beans are going to go. I was going to put these other side of the trellis, back of the garden, where they'll have more room here. And this gets light sunlight from about 3:30 in the afternoon. This would be perfect. There'll be, yes, Suzanne.
Do you think they'd be deep enough to put glads in, gladioli?
You might get away with it, but we'd have to stake them well. I'd like them a bit deeper.
A bit deeper than that.
But,
So how deep are they?
probably about 5 inch, I think.
Oh, right, so they're not that deep then, yeah.
You need a big pot, Sue, because
Yeah.
otherwise they blow over. They get top heavy.
Yeah, I'll say if you can stake them.
The bigger the pot, the better.
Yeah.
Right, so I bet, what about a foot high? Is that too much or not?
No, that's what my bed was today. This year, my old long one. We'll see it later on.
Okay, thanks.
But with these, I mean, I'm going to stake these. When these I've got my canes up there, when they will go in, I'm going to have supports on the side of the brickwork. So that'll hold them up. Because don't forget, if you've got a raised bed like I had on my plot, I'd just put the cane straight in and push it straight in the raised bed. So the cane would probably go in over a foot. But as there's no depth in these, exactly the same with Gladys, just stake them. So that's where my trays are going to go. So I levelled all this off again, and went and borrowed some wood chip from down the plot. Better for walking on, meaning when it does rain, it's not going to get muddy and soggy, because I've got a good 2-3 inches of wood chip down there. And there's the gaffer having a perusal. but that'll do me. Right, these lot started drying out nicely, and the ones on the plot. The ones I've got canes left in are me best ones out of all of them. Obviously they're all good ones, otherwise I wouldn't have had them in the first place. But I haven't got the room up the back garden to do the lot, so I've had to pick the best out and distribute the rest. So the ones that have still got canes up alongside them, I have written on the cane itself the brew, the make of them, the name of the gladdy. So I know there's at least 4 or 5 of some like of singular beauty, about 4 or 5 of them. So I'll just put them in a tray. So I'm slowly sorting this out. This is during last week. Also getting nettles when I take the hound for a walk. Obviously before they go to seed. And we've got to make room down here for next week, because we're having 4 pallets of clover compost. Because when he runs out of the compost with contact, then he ain't gonna have no more in. He's panicking as well, like most other people. So 4 pallets will sort us out for next year for our members. After that, we'll think of something else. This is me and Paul during the week. Went and saw Herring Wen. He was a German comedian. You might have seen him on Mock the Week he used to be on. But Aaron, he bought me a ticket and the missus to go and see him for my birthday. Missus couldn't make it, so I took Paul and we had a good night. We both needed the break and legged it in Weatherspoons. Try the lazy hog, as you do after. Right, my plants here which I got, I sent away for small plugs. So these ones, Pennytimminant, Enchinacea, if that makes sense, and Aquilegia. I think there's only 4 Aquilegia that have survived. There's only 3 of them. Them 6 have come. Still, that's gardening, ain't it? And them in the greenhouse, obviously, because the nights are getting colder now as well. Right, start getting me spares up, which I don't need. Mark gave me some bags, he's a good lad. So I filled 6 of them bags up with my spares. Don't forget they've all dried off. I've still got the babbies in the middle as well on them. And that's them lot out of the way. And now I'm ready to sort my lot out, which I've done there. Right, back up the back garden. This is the tunnel in the back garden. All my stuff has come out of here now. I had my 3 onions at the back, which warm up crop, and the pot leeks down here. They warm up crop either. I'm doing leeks next year. That's the only thing I've knocked on the head. But I should do more onions, which I'd rather have. So all I'm doing is scraping up all the straw, because don't forget every raised bed or everything I plant out, it is then top dressed with straw. Keeps the moisture and warmth in. So all I'm doing is scraping in the straw. Don't forget, if this is stable manure, there's still nuggets in there, which is good brew. But the straw usually lasts me 4 or 5 years, even longer if you don't get wet. So I've done that side, got my bag load there. I'll then do this side and bung another. Rita, good to see you, good evening. I shall collect that up as well. Obviously the hound is in charge. Right, if I go down about 3 inches, that is me, or was, me undersoil watering system, which is gravity fed from a water butt, which is at the side of here. But because now I've got rid of the plot, so I shall have more time to look after my stuff properly on the back garden. So this lot is coming out, I don't need it. Which I've collected there. So Paul, if you're going to use for that down the plot or in your tunnel, It's there ready for you. So that's collected that lot in, and when I've got time we will start top dressing these raised beds at home. Well, that'll be the first one in the tunnel. Right, back down the plot. Getting my gladdies up. Zooming on then. Most of these have got the corblets on as well. So I've got these up nice and with a hand fork. No disturbance. There's my little mate. Nicking the worms. So I've got these all up as well. Now, I think this was Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday. No, it's got to be Wednesday. I knew it was going to be dry overnight. Otherwise, I'd have taken these back home in the trays. But I knew it was going to be dry. Plus, not a bad night either, temperature-wise. So I've left these on top just to dry out even more. Right, back garden. If you remember, my fruit trees now, which are in pots. If you remember this one here, this pot I had from Wilco. I noticed them about 2 weeks ago, and they're perfect for me because they're a good weight, they're nice and solid, and they're frost protection on them. Where am I? This is the first one. This is a Victoria Plum. So I've got another pot identical to that. So I can make me mould with it in there. So I've got a nice, with all my fruit trees, nice bit of muck under them. This is dried goat muck. I like a bit of manure, any manure. And that's another dollop of different muck, that'll be oss muck. Then I'll just put that pot in as far as I can get it. And then fill the sides in, obviously by hand, and firming that in. Get the tree out of the pot it was in. Perfect fit. Once I put him up right, firm him down a bit, it'll be ideal. So I put him level, which that slab is level. And you see he's a bit cock a hoop. So I've got to get that cane right in the middle upright. That's that way, and turn that pot round that way and look at it again so it's level that way as well. Got more room down the bottom of the garden near the patio, so that's where I bring him. And I bought all my old canes which I had from the Gladys from the plot, so these will be perfect for him. So he's just got back on that one. He's now level looking that way, and then I went and took a photo from that side and he's level that way, i.e. the cane. So he's now a bit tied up to him, so I know him nice and straight, which he is there. Right, my blueberry. This blueberry on the right, I had him 2 years ago because he was a late blueberry, a new late one that come out, meaning I wanted him for our show, as being a late show. But as the size the fruit got to, this was taken a week ago, which was long after the show, so he was no good. There ain't going to be any size for another 2 weeks yet, so he's a really late one. So that one on the left, which I used the fruit off that for the show this year, that was down the plot on my second half allotment. So I've just bought him back. I'm going to use him and another one. And Aaron come last week, my youngest, and I'll drop that off to him. He's going to have that one, as he likes his fruit as well. Right, delphiniums up the back garden. I tried it last year, it worked. And I've done it again this year. Once it has stopped flowering, well, once the growth has died off, then cut everything off ground level. When I say ground level, mine was just an inch and a half above soil level because new shoots had already started. I'm telling you, cut me off. So I cut them off, and then I give them a good feed. And that kickstarts it back into growth again. Don't forget, everything has got to survive to throw seed, to carry on life. You've just cut his head off, so he's going to throw growth again. And this is the second growth. So that's the first delphinium going up the left of the back garden. Steve, yes mate. Unmute yourself, Steve.
What's that yellow and red flower outside of that? There, look.
I forgot the name of the chap. If anybody knows,
a boutilon, I think, Rick.
Yes, that rings a bell.
Yeah, I've got one in my garden. Beautiful things, I am.
Good man.
Type it in chat, Scott, please.
Yeah, will do.
Cheers, Scott.
Thanks, Mick.
He is a good and Steve. I put that in last year, and as you can see, he's spreading. Because I've got wires going all the way across. But
I've been after one for about 3 years.
Yeah. But it's nice. Red and yellow works.
Thanks, Mick.
So that's the bottom one. That's the next one going up. Luckily they're all different, i.e. the first one had a black inner, this has got a white centre. And then on the other side of the garden going up, that's got a white centre with a black inner. He's just coming through, he's a bit later than the other two. And that's the one top of the garden in front of the tunnel. He's the last one to start opening up. So double wax with that one. Oh, where's me Wheel of Fortune?
Don't
Right.
bother with that, Mick. Just send it me.
How can I send a holiday in the post?
You can't, but you can send tickets.
It's a lie.
Told you.
Bloody hell, he's a jammy sod.
More shit and more.
Just do it again.
You've tried some
Over
day.
one.
No system is what's that crap?
Come on, I feel lucky. All right, I feeling lucky.
What we won, Mick?
Hang on, you tart. I'll get in touch with you.
All right. Oh,
You can have microns of fungi.
that'll do me, yeah. I'll have half your allotment.
You can have it all, I've gone. Right, so my blueberry, which I bought back up from the plot. The next bigger size pot, which will go out, which is this one here. That'll be perfect for this. Obviously, I've got to wait till I get some ericaceous compost, because it's going to need a bit of filling on them sides. But when I get my normal compost, them 4 pallets next Sunday morning with the Troughs, I shall get me a bag of ericaceous then, so I'll pot him on then. Right, 2 fruit trees I can pot on in here. These are back to the small pots. I've got a pear, which is Pyrus, and an apple, Jacuba, or Jabuka. Nice drop of muck in the bottom again. They love a drop of good muck. The guzzy was nice and firm. If he's had been watered, he's got a bit of root around him anyway. He's not going to collapse. So I'll just get the pot in and make him mould. Level with the top as normal. So a bit of muck under him, and then my old compost. You don't need no mycorrhizal fungi under him. The muck will do him perfectly. Nice and upright, firm him in, bung him out down the bottom with the rest of them, where the rest are going, and then give him a good watering. And I mean a good watering. Don't forget they've got the drainage, so it'll be looked after. Right, my 2 blackberries, which are this on the right hand side of the patio when we come out of the house. Got to remember I've utilised the side of this wall, and the netting goes straight to the top of the wall and across the top of the patio doors. And my blackberries I put in, these were from Wilco, thornless, but I had these because they're a late blackberry, so I want these for fruit for our show next year. So these now have reached the netting, as you can see. So I was going to put them behind the back. It is a bit loose, but I know the thickness of the stems what the blackberries used to get on the allotment, and it'd be too thick, that they'd get strangulated or stuck. So I'm just tying them loosely on the front, and that's how I'm going to do it all the way across.
Mick,
Then when they do get thicker, then I'll just cut them off and put other ties
if you
on.
stick them behind the mesh,
Yep.
what you do after they've fruited, you got to cut the canes back. So you've got a problem there getting them out. So always tie them in front.
Yep, that's what I've done now. Rosie? So, alright, Az. Oh, good gaffer and all. So, these are doing great. So, all I want off these, I think there's 2 and a 3 on a 1. So, that'd be perfect going up there. That'll do me. Right, I showed this a couple of weeks ago. J Parks, I sent for all my stuff. This lot on here. My 3 fruit trees, which I should have had early September. I don't know what early September is, but I ain't bloody had him yet. Thank you, J Parks. I'll be getting a ring in the morning. Right, this is during the week. Mould brace, allotments, or gardening club, or both. I get him a talk down there. This is in Shrewsbury. I think it's the 3rd time I've been there now. But let's be going again. Right, still got a bit of colour both sides of the garden and at the top, because we started getting some cold nights here now. There's quite a bit of stuff I've put in the greenhouse already, but that's to the side, looking well. There's a bit of photo of the delphiniums there, and there's a hound, just like a mother. He's of a core ears. Right, my bags of, I think I've got 6 bags of Gladys up. I did want to mark on our side, but I've only put them out in trays to dry them out, the blue mushroom trays. Ventilation if you can do it. But you might have enough, because I've got to sort my spares out as well from the back garden. So I might have too many as it is. So you can have them as spares if you want to use them. After I've given my some more goodies and all. It's up to you, Mark, whatever you want to do. Right, straight 8-foot canes, bamboo. Not too thick. I don't need them thick because they're not going to be left in there. They're not going to be put in until the plants are put in and they got a bit of height on them. And then as soon as they're finished growing the runners, I pull them out. Then I should take the canes out, dry them, put them in the tunnel to keep as well. So I don't need thick canes because I've got... Yes, Nick?
I was just going to say, Mick, I know you said you're going to put runner beans in there, yeah?
Yep.
Why don't you just cut the bottoms out of the pots so the roots can go down into the soil? They probably grow a lot better.
If I have a crap year,
just where you've got the canes.
Yeah.
If where your canes is, just with your drill, circular, that sort of big, cut a hole in. When you put your plant, the roots will grow down into the soil. It keeps it tidy, but I think the plants will perform a lot better than just in pots.
It's an idea, no?
I think you'll find, I find runner beans are pretty thirsty. In that sort of container, 2 runner bean plants, they'll be pretty dry pretty quick.
Do as you're told, Michael.
That's what I do anyway.
Noted. Cheers, Nick, man.
No worries.
Right, so my lot which I've bought back on my last lot. Here's me goodies. Let's have a perv. Right, go back on that one. There, which we're just sitting, I've got a self-setter, sunflower. He's only a little one. And he's come from there, the bird seed on the top. But, go back on that one. The height he's come, which I'm hoping that is the height he grows to. So I'm going to save the seed for him for next year. Because there ain't much yellow flower about, I'm going to put them at the back, start them off, and then put them at the back with the Gladys. And that'll be obviously the height of that fence. Yes, Nick.
Little story on sunflowers this year. I grew some, and they're meant to go about 6-7 foot high. I've got one at home, or they all went 6-7 foot, but this one I'll put a picture up. I'll send it to you, Mick. This one's 16 foot long, same seed.
Yeah, bloody Nora.
Incredible. And it's a multi head. It's got flowers everywhere.
So I shall try him next year. Bit of extra colour. Well, he's a nice little chap. He'll do me. Right, these lot when I get them on, obviously they've been chopped when I took the flowers off. But they've dried out nice. The centres are nice and solid, so I'm cutting back again. I.e. them lot. When I bought them back, all the trays were put outside so there's ventilation and my bags and was drying off as well. Because we've had 3 or 4 days of good weather, I've put them out as well because I'm going to take them to one of my talks and dish them out, which we'll come on to later on. So the first 2 trays here, these are my prims. Where am I? First year I've done these this year, love them, and I've got quite a few babbies on there as well, so I'm going to keep hold of them and put some of them off. The 2 prim flowers I had ready for our show, I couldn't enter in the Gladys section because I needed them for my Collegiate Master Gardener class. I had to use the 2 prims on there because I only had one decent Gladys itself. But next year, hopefully, we do better. So slowly, once I'm getting them sorted, I'm building up in the garage with my trays. This next one is my velvet, what I call my velvet Gladys. Probably no good for showing at the big shows, but if you get them for our show, I mean I did alright with them at the South Wales show last year. But same as everything else, it's bloody timing them. But everybody's in the same boat. But I love them, so I'm keeping them as well. And I've kept a few corms this year and potted them on. So they're going to have a few on. Yes, Steve?
Does them velvet babbies, does someone of them say, send to Uncle Steve?
One is making a note now.
Thank you, darling.
Steve.
Not you, Paul. I got there before you.
Velvet. These are somebody else who raised ranch, Paul, mate?
Yeah, I dug mine up today off the plot. Been there 2 years. And they got 2 bulbs on. And the original bulb I put them underneath. Would that bulb be any good now?
It'll just break off when it
did.
dries.
No good, is it?
That's 6 years now.
Yeah, but loads of ones. I had a dish full of babbies.
Oh,
So
if you get a good one that you like, a good Gladdy, keep the babbies on.
I've got loads of them. I'm going to pot them all and pot them up my garden. So great, lovely. Cheers, Mick.
Paul,
Hello.
the old corm,
Yeah, on the bottom.
rot, it sort of shrivels away, and a
Yeah,
new
it does.
formed on the top every year.
Yeah,
So
I've got
the
2 of
old
them.
ones has to be discarded.
Yeah, I've took them all up. I should do that. I've got loads of hundreds of babbies. I've got Trader Horn, I think the one, and a white cream one. I can't remember the name of that one. That was nice.
We'll see if our Zoomers want any cormlets, because I shall have a few spare as well. Steve, got your hand up, mate? You
Yes,
got to unmute
please.
yourself.
I won't mind some, Mick.
Steve Medigood, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I've started digging me gladdies up. You know the cormlets?
Yeah.
Is there a certain size they've got to be before you can plant them? Or because there's some bigger ones and some smaller ones. Will they all be okay?
Yeah, they're all okay. I put all mine in last year, large and the small.
But the big and the small.
Yeah.
Because there's hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yeah. Obviously, the large are going to be stronger and healthier. The best flower.
Yeah.
Or later on. But now I'll put all mine in. Exactly the same as
Because
these.
I've never done the
Singular
cornlets
Beauty.
before, so I thought I'd give them a go this year.
Yeah. These are my best me flower of Singular Beauty. Love them. Brilliant white. Because I ain't got many of these, plants, every cormlet they throw, there's a good size and there's a good size. I planted them as well as even the smallest one on there. I planted the lot. Because I know it's going to take 2 years to get a flower or something, 2 or 3 years to get a good sizing. But especially now, don't forget there's 2 gladioli companies, big companies, finished. So it's going to be hard to get things like these. I mean, I know you can still get them, but later on in the road. If anybody does want any corms later on, I'll get
Yes, please. Yes, please, Mick.
Them down. This is another one. This is orange with a yellow inner. Anything unusual like that. It's a good orange colour, and you got that tinge of yellow. So I've jobbed them as well. I've kept them. That was a good pink. Because I'm crap on names, as you see. Nobody's got a proper name. But them was decent as well. Right, if I get a spectacular one, like that one, superb, put to seed. This was a yellow, and he got 2 different shades of yellow in him, if that makes sense. And that one, superb, is another one. And that one at the bottom, this has got ruffled edges. I ain't seen many this year exhibited. I don't know whether the judges like them or not. But you get some gladdies and they got the ruffled edges, which just makes them unique along others. And I'd only got one of them, and that's in there. So all them babbies, because I want him, I shall be punging all them cormets in as well. So that's the lot done. From the allotment, I should say. I've still got the back garden to do. So I've got to go down. I've got to go down Alzheimer tomorrow. Do a bit of shopping, what I can get from Lidl. So if it's not piddling down, I'll just go around the back of the shops, jump in the skip, and nick another 8 of these trays for me gladdies, which are at the back of the garden. Right, them 5, I had 5 bags left. I still put them out during the day to dry them off, helping them out. And these lot we got to sort out now, back of the garden. Them lot in my trough, that's my first trough. I think that's 10 inches deep, Suzanne, that one. Then they done alright in there, 10 inches. Obviously, I put a cane up each one to keep them nice and straight.
Thanks.
Tie the flowers up against them. But don't forget, these is only in pots, these. Them are only 3 litre pots. Obviously, they got a cane up either of them. But most of them are cormets, but there was some big ones in as well. So it's just supporting them, if they got the support. Right, this lot here. There was 2 that, if I go back on that one again. There's one, obviously I put all these in, I filled all the gaps. But I've got nothing there, nothing to come through there. And I've got 2 gaps down that in, nothing. So I took the straw away, obviously, keeping that again. That's dried off nice. So it's not going to break down in the bag. It'll keep over winter. And I dug down with a fork where these 2 were put in, and there was nothing whatsoever. Now, whether a squirrel's been in and nicked them when they was young, or what, God knows. I ain't got a clue. But all these was marked in when they was planted and when they was took up. It's probably in between 83 days and 112. But it's different every bloody year, innit? I don't know why I bother doing that. I shall do it again. But getting everyone out, I think there was 2 there of singular beauty as well. So I put them in with me other babbies. That's them drying out on the top because I know it's still going to be dry on that night, which it was. And I've started moving the pots out of here to the top of the garden, and they'll go in the tunnel. Don't forget, I've emptied that tunnel now of the straw and whatever was in there. So all these are going in there. Just all these lot, them lot. I'll start getting all the weeds and rubbish out first. All done. There was normal gladdies in, but most of them were the small cormlets. And as Steve has mentioned before, the different size cormlets. I know the bigger cormlets, I put them in one pot, kept them all the same size, and they did come better plants, which is obvious, isn't it? But all these now will dry off properly, obviously, because they can't get rained on, which would be good for me. Rita, are you ready?
Hi, yeah, okay.
Rita's going to give us a talk through. Showed us a garden a while back, but has got a few more photos. All yours, Rita.
Thank you. First of all, can I just say, Mick, your garden is looking amazing and you're so organised. It's inspirational. So yeah, this is my small garden. So I've only in the last 2 years sort of changed from growing a lot of shrubs and some flowers to now trying to grow some edible things as well. So really working out what I'm doing. So if you go to the next slide, please. So I live in a semi-detached. I've got that little lawn area that you've just seen, and then I'm an end house. So I've got a side patch, which is sort of an area I'm trying to use for composting and storing bags of leaf mould, manure, etc. So there's 2 compost bins there, and the green one does get the sun on it. So I was going to ask your advice. Would you, I try and cover it with a white sheet in the heat of the summer to keep it cool. And I'm just thinking through the winter, would you suggest I wrap it in carpet or is it not necessary?
Well, I only look after mine the way I do because I want compost all the time. I want as much compost as I can make as quickly as I can make it. That's why I look after them. Because my bins, when I was on the plot, they used to be, if the sun is out, they've got the sun all day, meaning it'll get too hot for them. So I look after them that way, putting the white plastic on. And in the winter, I still want compost. I still want them to work for me. That's the only reason I put carpet on, so they don't freeze, so they can carry on. But yeah, if you want compost, especially the way we're going, because very soon, well, I'll cover that later on about composting. But yes, I would cover it.
Okay, thank you. So if you could go on to the next slide, please. So yeah, this is going forward from the compost bins, and I've got a front lawn that I'm hoping to plant perhaps a couple of fruit trees on. So it was interesting to see what you're doing with yours, and I've still got to source where to get my pear tree and possibly a plum tree from, and whether that will work. Just having one, whether they will need 2 to fertilise them, I'm not sure. So yeah, and that little rockery, I've dug up a lot of plants and I've started growing strawberries, and at this end there's some raspberries which have grown and produced quite a lot of fruit this year, so I'm quite pleased with those.
Yeah.
Next
with,
slide, please.
With J Parks, when I had their catalogue, I've just had another one come through. Pomona fruits. I've done well with them over the years, but they now tell you when you look at the trees
Okay.
whether them self-fertile or not. And because obviously they advance. I mean, there's fruit trees now you can get with 2 different apples on. I had one down the plot. I've had that for 10 years. I mean, that weren't about 30 odd year ago. It's the same as now, you know, they're making them easier for us every year. So just read the small print. I mean, all I'm having now is the ones that grow up right in one stem, you know. But it's the ideal time now to get them. Perfect.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, this is the sort of back corner that I just put those wooden frames in a couple of years ago, and that I sort of started off on a no dig basis and put some manure and compost out my bins down. And last year they produced some quite good salad leaf, spinach and chard. And then this year I've gone for taller things. I've grown runner beans and sunflowers. But as you can see, I'm very near to my hedge, so
Yeah.
I think the hedge does take a lot of water out of the ground. So watering constantly to produce anything. So yeah, so when I get when these things are finished this year, I'm thinking, shall I add manure and or should I put that in the compost bin and let it all mix together and then add it next year?
You want to raise your raised bed?
You would. You put it straight on the bed.
You want to raise your raised bed?
Make it higher.
Raised bed higher, yeah. It's one of the.
Oh right.
I've got want to do my talk on the raised beds and no dig. I've got a photo like yours, very similar, end of the garden, and they've got mature trees in, saying they can grow nothing there because of the roots. I say, well, you can if you have a raised bed on top. I mean, a 6-inch bed is better than nothing. Obviously, the taller the better, but even that, it's got the drainage, so it's just going to go the other way. Them roots from the trees or whatever you got in ain't going to come into your raised bed and go up. Roots go down. So if I was you, I'd just build your raised bed up. Scaffolding boards would be perfect, or anything like that. Yes, Paul?
Put some chicken pellets on it as well, but I'm good.
Okay.
They're
what
really
does
good.
that do? Does that
Chicken manure, it's really good.
Does that feed it?
Yeah, high nitrogen
pellets.
feed.
Yeah.
It's a good brew.
And I was wondering, because it seems to have gone quite loose as well, so I thought, shall I press it down, make it firmer?
What's that, your growing medium?
Yeah.
Have you ever
So
put
like
manure
last
in?
year, it seemed quite rich, but this year I've got some horse manure, which I've picked up this year from the farm. I've not added it yet.
Yeah, put it on end of the season, yeah. Let winter take it down.
Okay. Right, yeah. Okay, that'd be good. And my sunflowers, just seeing as you mentioned them as well. Oh, and there's my little Robin as well, my friend in the garden. Sunflower heads, I was thinking I'll dry them and use the seed to feed the birds. Is there any advice about how to do that?
No. Just leave them. They'll just peck at them. And they're dried on the floor.
Yeah, just put the heads of the sunflowers.
Well, I've started cutting some off because leave them on.
No, just take the flowers off, because I've just done it to mine. Take the flowers off, like with a little bit of stem, and just put them on near the bird feeder, and they'll just come and help themselves. So you can take the top bit off, which is where all the pollen and stuff was, and then the seeds are underneath. And they've been doing it. They've been helping themselves.
Oh, brilliant! Because I do want to remove them really, so that I can then add some manure or whatever to the beds. So yeah, I'll do
Also
that.
keep some of the
Thank you.
seeds for next year as well.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, and try them again next year. Thank you. Next slide. Oh, yeah, and another one after my robin. So my bins, the other day decided, because I'm not as efficient as you, Mick, at chopping everything up when I put it in, I thought I should tip them out and mix it up and then put it back in again, but it was such a lot of work. I don't know whether I needed to do it, whether I was just wasting my time or not, but I thought, I can't keep doing this. It was horrendous.
Nah, the only time you mix it is if you hot compost.
Because they're quite heavy. If what, sorry?
If you're hot composting, that's the only time you turn the compost. If you use worms, they'll turn it for you, but you got to keep it moist. And warm. Then they'll work their way through.
Right. Yeah, I have got a lot of worms, so I shouldn't need to tip it out and mix it then.
No, let them turn it.
Oh, brilliant. That's good. Thank you. And yeah, these slugs, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I've got worms, but I've also got a lot of slugs in my bins. Are some slugs beneficial, or should I be trying to remove
They
them?
won't do any harm whatsoever. You get them in most compost seeds. If I had them in mine, I used to have a couple in the lid.
Yeah.
I'd just take them out and bug them on the floor. But they ain't going to do no harm in the bin. They're just transporting different.
Right, because I was a bit worried. I thought, well, if they're in my compost and then I'm putting my compost in my raised beds, will I be feeding them with, like, I don't know.
No, you'll see the slug.
Well, I'd see the slug, but would there be eggs or something like that?
Well, if you're worried about that, you
okay.
Just cut them in half with
I
scissors.
can live with.
Put them under the edge.
No, I can't do that. No, I couldn't do that.
Throw it over the edge. Or put them in the green bin.
Yeah, I'll throw it over the hedge.
Oh, they travel 100 metres, they can do, and they're very poisonous to dogs.
Oh, put them in the green
poisonous
bin.
to dogs?
Cut them in half.
I can't cut them in half, sorry.
Stamp on them.
Put them on a skewer.
On a fork today. Fork them with a fork.
Rita, just put them in the green compost bin.
Yeah,
Pour salt on
green compost bin.
The council job them.
Stick a bit of salt on them. They don't like that.
Yeah,
cover them with salt.
Salt and vinegar.
salt water.
Nice on the barbecue.
I do sometimes put them in a tub and take them for a walk and then leave them down the farm lane.
Get rid of them.
Chuck them in your next door
Thank you
neighbour's
for your
garden.
help.
Lovely. Cheers, Rita.
Thank you.
Nice little
cheers.
input. Right, this was when was this? This was Friday. What day? Be on Sunday. This was another talk I did up Clent, not too far away. I took those 5 bags of Gladys. That table there you can just make out. That's where the raffle prizes were. I'll give them my normal raffle prizes, and I was going to put the bags of Gladys in the raffle, but I thought if somebody has them and they don't want them, it's going to be a waste. So I put them under the table, and at the end, I just told them, bag of Gladys, told them what to do with them, how to look after them, flogged them £1 a bag, and just give the proceeds back into the club. So they was appreciative of that as well. Most of the talk, well, all the bloody talks I go to now, obviously, I'm all old, or the majority are old, and the women are outlasting the men. This is everywhere. Very few young gardeners coming in. We've lost 2 generations of gardeners through gardening not being on the school's national curriculum, which should have been 5 or 6 years ago. This is also now showing itself with new plot members coming on site. Majority through not having a clue what gardening is about. They think that they can weed summit, plant, and that's it. No, it ain't that easy. But we're going to get unstuck a few years' time. I know the pandemic ain't helped this year, but this year 3 gardening clubs been in touch with us and saying they've folded because when they have the AGM, somebody goes, there's nobody there to take over from them. I know. So I think it is hassle, I suppose, if you call walk very well or whatever, or get about easily. But they need a committee or a few on the committee because a few people can't do all the work. And there's 3 folded already because they got nobody to take the job on to have a full committee. And that is how it's going. We're going to lose a few every year. Because there's very few gardeners, as you'll see. Most of the talks I do now, there's very few young guns there at all. Still, that's my piece on that one. But my talks are going back up and I'm enjoying them, and they am. Right, Anthem. This is our little ones, Aaron. He got this on his windowsill. He works. He works from home, and his office is on the front room, which is like a sun trap. And this is on the, and he don't look at it, talk to it, wait to it, nothing. Look at it. Gordon Bennett. He showed mine up, but it needs potting on. So I said I'll take that on, put him on for you. Normal multi-purpose compost mixed with vermiculite, because I like using that with everything. It hangs on to moisture, warmth and oxygen, which is what the roots want. So pot a good size up because he needs it. It's getting top heavy. That tells you he needs potting on. So I potted him on. Emptied him out. He's not going to collapse because he's got a nice root structure around him. Plus he's nice and solid. Put the pot in just below that lip and then put the compost around that hole, obviously. Then give it a good soaking. And then let him drain. I've got a fetish for my flowers or my garden. Right, I saw these during the week. I had another catalogue come through. Obviously roots. And I saw it online because it's quicker. And basically, these are goose-gogs. I can remember years ago when I first had my allotment, I did some goose-gogs. Or gooseberries, if you're posh. And I think most of them then, there's non-spikeless. And there was a pain to get the goose-gogs off. And I'll get up after a bit. But now there's thornless and there's different, loads of different colours. I mean, there weren't red goose-gogs when I first started. But these 2 are late gooseberries. Perfect for me. So that'll be good for our show as well. It's an extra fruit for when I do my collection of fruit on my basket of fruit. That's what I want these for. So I've sent away for them 2 as well. Right, this is my mate, Graham Barrett. He comes from Gloucester. Nick Brake. Nick comes up halfway, which is to Gloucester from where he is in Chard, and I'll go down from where I am. So Graham's halfway, and we have a nose round his plot. He does a bit of dinner, and we have a perusal. But this is Graham during the week, i.e. getting his veg ready to go down to Malvern. Luckily he's got a farm opposite, and he does a deal with him because he uses one of their fields. But this is him getting his stuff ready. That was a photo he put on during the week, and this is the photos I've took off his Facebook page. So he did come second with that one, which he was chuffed to bits about. So this is the Malvern show just finished today, and he got a second with his cucumber, which he was chuffed about that one as well, and a second with his pepper. And he said that was a shock. First with his tomato. Don't forget these good condition, just by weight. So that was a bonus for him. And he also got first with his celery. So it's just one celery, obviously. The side shoots which have come off is extra weight for him. So I know there's loads of stuff this year, stuff going to seed because of our loopy weather, but this has worked well for him because I've had it with me sprouts where you have the normal stem of a sprout coming up, where the sprout comes up on the bottom, that's thrown another shoot of sprouts, if that makes sense. Meaning the weight of that sprout, if there was a class for an heavy sprout, that would have given me weight exactly the same as this, see, on his celery. I'm just guessing this is what happened anyway. So the side shoots that have come out, they've thrown their own celery. Because it's all classed as one, and obviously he's come first with it, so I've chuffed a bits for him. So that was another bonus, which he weren't expecting. So good man. And if he had got time, if he was at home on a Sunday night, he'd put his stuff in. But also get more photos and write-ups from him and just bung them on myself. Right, my blueberry, which I bought at the back garden, waiting to be pot on. Obviously, he's still throwing loads of fruit. So during the day, during the weekday, I should say, that's what I have. Fresh fruit mixed with my yogurt and my granola. Then on a Saturday and Sunday, I me fry up. Boston. I take a fuse of vein. I've seen that, love it. Look at his little face. You women don't know how lucky I am. Not carrying I love that one. He's got a bit of a strop on there. Nature is great. I should say he was confused.com. Right, these little chaps there, I lost these two last year in the sense. This is a Leander Shrub or tree. I don't know what you call it. Not the stem of a tree, but it's like a little shrub. Let's get a bit close to him. That's what he looked like 2 years ago when I think I had these from Lidl. I had a couple of them. And I had a good year with them. They did what they're supposed to do. I had red flowers on the end. But last year and the last year, all these died off as though they got a disease on near enough every leaf. Plus, it was going into the stem as well. It was like a brown. I did bung fouties on last year a bit. But I just chopped a lot off. Meaning that there's nothing on there that can go back into the plant unless it was already in the plant. But it looks as though I've got away with it. There's this one top of the garden and there's another one bottom of the garden on the left. And but they're both looking like this, which is a nice dark green leaf, the way they're supposed to be, nice and shiny, which tells me it's a healthy plant. Exactly the same as a veg. If they look nice and healthy, shiny, the colour they're supposed to be, they are. So hopefully next year it'll give me a bit of a colour again. So that's good to know. I haven't lost them too. Right, end of the greenhouse. I had Paul's heavy chili in here. That was that one I had from Lidl, which was the pepper, Red Knight. Like quite a few of him. And the one on this side was the Paul's
Jamaican Scotch bonnet.
Jamaican Scotch bonnet. It's in my memory. It's getting Gordon Bennett. Right, that one was a normal grow bag, if you remember, and that one was my compost. Basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just rip them off and throw them in the green bin, and then rub through. So it'll get took down to the front into the green bin. I'll then split the bag open because this is still peat, spent peat, don't forget. Although it's been used, it's like spent mushroom compost, use it again. So I'm going to use the peat again. You still get bits of rubbish in it. Levington, thank you very much. So all I'm doing is rubbing out the roots, and I'm saving the peat as an ingredient for the composting. Natural product, so it's going in the compost. Those are the last of them bonnets I got off your plant, Paul.
They're good. They tried one yet?
Had them tonight when he delivered his Balti. He's a good lad. I saw this one and nicked this one as well. Can any of you drive a lorry? Taking the hound again today. We always go to the same place. And I forgot to take my bag today. But there's loads of, obviously, old nettles which have got seed heads on them. But there's still new nettles, new growth coming out from the bottom. As you can see this lot here. Nice dark green, tells me it's new. The old ones would be lighter. So I'm nicking them again. Full of nitrogen. Comfrey, I get them as well. Right, composting. Yeah, I'm going to get fed up with this. My normal bucket, because I'm slicing up with this, I'm going through the bottom, so I tape the bottom again with tape from Wilco. And when the bucket's dry, I tape that up as well. That'll last me another month before I get me another bucket. Kitchen waste, garden waste, all I'm doing is helping nature out. I'm going to chop everything up. Steve, got your hand up, mate?
Mate, you know when you said you cut that bag open, that compost bag, and you use the compost again, how do you revive it?
It's just a spent thing, but mixed with everything else. It's an extra medium. Gives it more bulk.
You don't add note to it then?
Well, just other ingredients, which we'll come on to in a bit.
Okay.
So chopping all them up, which I've just done there. I've then got my other dollop, and I put that on top. So I'm chopping that lot up as well. So I'm not starting from the bottom, meaning I've already chopped them underneath. So I'm not going to chop the bottom of my bucket up. That's all I'm thinking of now. I'm just chopping these bits up on top. If I do chop the bottom, then that's a bit extra as well. Right, these in my tub. I've got my tub underneath, which in there, in my jug I should say, I've got crushed eggshells, alfalfa pellets, layers chicken pellets, which worms love. Worm farms, the worm farm we had a walk around, me mate Dave, they use a multi-purpose compost, shredded newspaper, and layers chicken pellets as a feed. Worms love layers chicken pellets. If they're in lumps, just crush them with a brick or a hammer, but worms love it. Plus in my jug, I've got a cheap porridge oats. Them are from Lidl or Tesco. And Tesco's are only 60 pence a bag, and they're going to last you moons. But worms love porridge. Spent coffee grounds. Tesco again, that's where I get mine from. Dried tea. When I've dried my tea bags, I just open the bags up and use the tea as well. So that's another spent product, same as the spent coffee grounds. And next photo. Shredded paper. This is paperback books. Scott, got your hand up, mate?
Yeah, the chicken pellets. That's not chicken manure pellets. That's chicken feed pellets, is it?
Yep, chicken feed. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, chicken and pellets. They're a bit too strong because there's
Yeah.
loads of nitrogen in there anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I have the guy I used to get my worms from. He used to feed them chicken feed. Funny enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you put them in your compost bin.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
So my old paperback books, plus my little tray where I go in the kitchen, there's a bit of tissue. That's where we put, when we've made a cup of tea and you squeeze the tea bag, they go into this little tray, and that's what turns this white tissue, the colour it is, because it's still draining into the tissue. So I save them and put them through the shredder as well. So that's extra. Right, these are some of the ingredients I'm going to mix it with. So, Steve, answer your question. I could now have a bag, well, I will have a bag of spent peat, which is out them grow bags. And the others, spent ops, spent mushroom compost, goat muck, which has been dried and shredded, which ain't got to be, worm casts, mole soil, leaf mould. Well, there's loads of them, and any natural product. Put them all mixed together as well, double handful of everything. So that's the bag I've used for this chopping and mixing ingredients. So they're all mixed ready to go in. And that's what it looks like before it goes in. Smaller the ingredients, the quicker the breakdown, whether it's by bacteria, fungi, or the worms. I mean, you could eat that now, couldn't you? Nick got his hand up. Are you feeling hungry?
Mick, what shredder do you use?
The shredders they bought out now are cross shredders, meaning they chop it both ways. I think
Okay.
the last one I had was 12 quid.
Okay.
Little
I've
chaps.
got one that says micro cut cross shredder,
Yeah.
and it's tiny pieces.
I said that on a talk once when I did this. I said I've got a cross dresser. Nobody clicked on, thank God. Well, I moved to the next subject quick. Anybody can do it. So the smaller the ingredients, the better. Less work for the worms. That's what I'm thinking of. So don't forget this compost bin now. I'll move to the back garden. That's when there's only one person clicked on when I moved this up. They thought, why has he bought that up to his back garden? He's had 6 on his allotment for bloody moves. But he did click on. He says, I thought you was moving. That was the first sign. No worms in the lid, which is a good sign. If they're in the lid, they're trying to get out. Mine are in there. Because I look after them. Scott, yes, mate.
Must have been arranged to leave your plot, Mick. Must have been a big decision to make.
It was just too much hassle and stress. My brain couldn't cope.
Yeah.
Basically, it was the chairman's job that was giving me grief. But
Yeah.
I knocked that on the head, and then I thought about it. Especially now with the dog, because that's taking a couple of hours a day walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's got to do that and all. But
Well,
it,
whoever takes on your
home.
plot, whoever takes on your plot's a lucky fella, isn't he? He's
Yep.
got a nice few raised beds.
You bloody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dipped in on.
Yeah.
Now, I can do everything at home, which I want to do for the show, except the leaks, which I was going to cut out anyway.
Yeah. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, thrip of one.
Yeah.
I should still go down and do the trading shed on a Saturday.
Oh, right. Okay.
But, so, taking the lid off, and I've got my 3 layers of carpet on top of my bin. Now, this proves it works. Don't forget, these are kept moist, so which we'll see later on. Because in between the 2 layers, it's an ideal breeding ground for the worms. Don't forget, worms like to explore. So they will come out of the feed as well. So that is just lifting one half of the carpet, so you see the worms there. So the next carpet underneath, well, that one is taken off, and the worms are inside there. The next carpet is folded over, so there's worms in that one as well, and there's worms under there. So that's 3 lots of extra worms I've got. And there's the big carpet underneath. So I shall fold that up as well. And wait till I put my ingredients in. There's my extra worms. Take all them out. Still loads underneath, eating away from last week's. So those 3 layers of carpet and my extra worms, which I used to go down to a fishing tackle shop years ago, before I got my own, with 3 layers of carpet. So that is after a week. That's what it looks like. Obviously full of worms, because I'm still yomping away. They haven't got to look for food, it is there. I've mixed it for them, I've chopped it for them. All they got to do is eat and multiply. Don't forget, these like multiplying as well, which is good for me and good for my compost. Look after them and they will look after you. Right, ready to tip my ingredients out of the bag, the contents. That's all out, and then level it. I can now reach in and level it with my hand as it is started to come up the bin. I'll then give it a good watering. Don't forget, everything I've put in is dry. So give it a good soaking. Well, you know what a good soaking is. But I use liquid osmoc as well in with this. If I haven't got any, which with heaven has shut now to us, allotment here, so I can't get me runoff anymore. So when I do run out of liquid osmoc, then I should just piddle in the can. That's nitrogen as well. So get the old man or your next door neighbour to piddle in the watering can for you. Worms love it. I'll then empty the worms back on to the top and wash it. I'll give that a watering, as I mentioned, and every carpet that goes on, I'll give that a watering as well. Don't forget, these carpets have got to stay moist for them worms to go and have a nose round. If they're dry, I'm going to go nowhere near it. Worms will only go where there's moisture, because they've got to breathe through the skin. The skin has got to stay moist. That's why they go deeper if it dries out. So I thought, right, now's about the time, because my compost is up to about there, because I can reach in now and level it. Let's have a perv. So I've done this photo this afternoon for you, just for the end of this one. I've got my tray out ready to go underneath, my fork, to have a look at the brew. There's a hound. Get her out the road. Right, I took the little door off the front, which down the old allotment, I think I did this once, taking the door off, doing it this way, and it was that solid on the bottom and that dry. This is when I first started, don't forget, before my trials. It was solid, and I took it out, and there's nothing in there. When I say nothing in there, I mean no worms in there. But that was taking me 3 or 4 months. But now I have got it down to but when my bins were on the plot, I've always took the lid off and gone in with a hand fork and filled the bucket up, and then put the bucket in and worked my way down, and then tipped out the bin. So this is the first time I've took the front door off, from a newish compost, and that tells me straight away, well, that lot's broken down, as you can see, and the worms are still there. So that's another good sign. But next week I shall get some out with the fork itself and just show you what it looks like and how I'm going to use it. And because this is going on YouTube tomorrow, for those who are new to looking at it, if you want to learn about me composting, you can get my book, Amazon, and you will learn. That was another good photo. I nicked this afternoon as well. Nature, following the mother, great aid. Well, might be the father. I saw this in an all visual. That's on tonight, 8-9 o'clock. Brilliant, that is. Bloody sport the end now, ain't they? I thought that was brilliant when I said that. And that's it, people. You can unmute yourselves. Hope you have enjoyed it and learned something.
Thanks, Mick.
Well,
Thanks so much,
do,
Mick.
Mick.
Thank you.
Next week we've got Muddy Boots. He was down Malvern. He's been down Malvern all weekend. But he's going to have photos to put on for next week, so he's going to get us a write-up. Plus Nigel Coe, his gladioli shows have all finished. Cheers, Jacko. So he's going to put photos on for us next week as well. I know Nigel's had a good year with his gladies. Colin Stokes, brackets Amazon. I think he's down the pub tonight, but he's going to bung some photos on. Amazon picked him up, took him down the pub. But he's going to get us a write-up as well next week. So we're back to normal with a couple of speakers.
Thank you, Rita, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Rita.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care, all. All the best.
Bye.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
Where'd you get those pellets from, Nick?
Any farm shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much,
What
what sort of price are they?
Pet shop. If you've got a good sized pet shop.
Yeah.
I'll buy a quarter of a ton at a time.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
How much do you pay, Paul?
10 quid a bag for 25 kilo.
Oh, that's good. I'm looking at £13, £14 for 20 kilo on Amazon. So I'll have a look.
That's Amazon for you.
Yeah,
So
I'll search around the
chicken.
farm shops.
Yeah.
We'll go.
Chicken feed, is it?
We'll go sell it.
Yeah.
In a
I'll have a
small
look in
bag.
there.
What we're
How
talking
much it
about.
is? Chicken
Is it
pellets.
chicken feed, you mean? Not
Chicken
not
feed,
pellets
yeah.
of chicken manure.
Feed. I'll get
Just put that in
through.
your compost.
I'll get through 25 kilo in about a month.
Really?
I've got nine chickens.
You've actually fed it to the chickens, don't put it on your
Yeah.
compost.
Yeah. And they give me shit the other end.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Some corn grow out on it.
There's what?
Does corn grow out on it, Paul?
No. There's no corn in it.
What's
It's
in
all. You have to read. There's all sorts in it, to be honest.
it? Right.
They love it, man. You put it in. You can give them fresh food. If they've got running low on it, they'll go straight to the pellets. Every time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Comes in pellet form then, not seed.
Yeah. No, just pellet form. Small pellets. I pay 9 quid a bag. When I first started, it was £8.50 a bag, and it's gone up over 5 years to 10 quid a bag.
Where do you get it from, Paul?
A place, Romsey Country Store by us. 10 quid a bag. How's your chilies doing, everybody?
Yeah, good.
Mine are
Good,
just going red now. I'm just
just had
waiting for them to go red.
I'll pick some in a week. No, it's like a jungle. I'll take some photos and post them on to me. I've got some Dorset Naga orange ones. You'll see, they look evil, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try one.
Yeah.
No,
Do it
some-
on here one Sunday.
Video it, and let us watch it.
Paul, we've got a committee meeting Thursday. Bring them to that.
Yeah, well, you can eat it.
Eh?
Yeah, well, eat it.
No, all on us.
No, I don't want to
Yeah.
give you a heart attack.
You have to wear gloves, Paul, to put
You're
them.
going first.
There's a story about that. I had a Naga vibe at the club the one night. Mick Wall there. We were all sitting there having beer. And I had a bite of it, had half it. 1.2 million. Damn, peanuts. And I went to the loo, forgot about myself. They washed my hands and
Oh my God.
it was on fire.
Yeah.
I think
It
Jacko's
was
having
literally on fire.
So you do wear gloves then, Paul?
I do
Yeah.
now.
You live and learn, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Jacko just asked a question on chat. He said, "Do you use fresh chicken poo?"
Now I'll write mine down. When I do use it, if there's a bed empty over winter, I'll dump it on the beds and leave it over winter. And then it's all right then.
Otherwise, you're too strong, guys.
Yeah, the worst one I've used is pigeon. Oh my God. Pigeon is vile.
Jacko, can you not turn your mute off?
I can do, but I'm in the pub.
Oh.
There's
It's a bit noisy. Yeah, it's all right. We get loads of chicken manure left by the gates for our allotments, and I've got load of Daleks with other stuff as well mixed in, and I rot it down. But I was just wondering, how long do you rot it down for?
I'll leave mine over winter.
Oh, you leave it? Okay.
There's a bed empty. I just chuck it on there and leave it.
Right.
And it'll start growing stuff March.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm a bit worried that it's really rich and it's... Okay. Cheers. Thank you.
I've got guinea pig poo, but it's mixed with hay.
And me. I use that as well.
You can use that
So
straight.
my friend's guinea pigs, but it's mixed with hay. But I think the hay's got seeds in it, hasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was thinking of putting it on the asparagus bed, but I don't want loads of weeds coming up next year.
No.
Yeah,
These guys only have to be once using hay instead of straw and manure. I know I was picking rubbish out of bloody yonks. Never again.
So it's not a good thing to do then?
Not really.
Can you not get a disease off pigeon poo?
Yeah. It's a lung disease.
A lung disease, yeah.
Yeah. When it's dry, it's fine. It might put me two. How many bags? And one wet bag. And open the wet bag. I'm joking. I just run, dumped it, and you could still smell it. A week and a half later, dug underground.
My garden umbrella is covered in it.
But when stuff gets growing in it, it does get growing. Well, I wouldn't use it again.
No.
Nearly killed me.
For onions in it, Nick.
Yeah, onions.
Mick Poltner.
Yes, dear.
I forgot what I was going to say, but hey,
Gone
you
for
know,
that.
okay, leaf mould.
Yes.
I've had some leaf mould in bags for last year. Will it be fit for seeding in?
It should be ready by now.
Should it? And can I just use it normal, or is it too strong?
Just open your bag out and rub the leaf mold, meaning you break it up. It'll go down to an even smaller, better form. Growing medium.
Yeah, it come from local cemetery, so I expect all my plants to die.
Oh, it should have a bit of ash in it as well then.
Yeah, there's some ash in it, yeah.
Perfect. Just mix
Okay.
it with a normal multi-purpose compost, half and half.
Is that all you do?
That's all I'd do.
Is there any feed in it or all? Soap leaves.
There'd be a bit of feeding, but there ain't much. Seeds don't need it anyway. You might have to germination it,
Yeah.
Just trial it all. Nah. It's only when you prick out and pot on you start feeding later on.
Yeah.
You've got the true leaves. Nah, there's enough in compost or whatever you use.
I'm going to go now. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna leg it to home.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
See you later.
Yeah. I'll see you next week.
Cheers,
Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate.
See you, mate.
See ya.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, Nick.
Ta-ra.
Thank you.
Bye now. Bye.
Right. See you, Mick.
Cheers.